just got back from walking the dogs and I thought, let's do a doggy video. So we're going to look at 15 things that dogs love the most. And I want to see if these are things Lina loves. I bet they're not. We'll find out. Let's go. Well, Lena's a bit hot, so she's gone for a lie down. So we'll have to do this one on our own.
There are a few things in this world that dogs like more than a fresh meal. In this video, we will discover 15 things dogs love the most. Your scent. A dog's favorite smell in the whole world is you. And the more of your odor on something, the better. A dog's sense of smell is much stronger than ours. And for them, a shirt covered in your scent is one of the most comforting objects in the world.
To be fair, that's probably true. I don't necessarily notice it with Lina though. Although she does prefer to stay in our bed than her own bed. But that's probably not because our smell's on it rather than we're on it. It's probably true.
Next time your pup is anxious about being left alone or is staying in a kennel, leave them with that never washed, sweaty shirt you wore to the gym, and they will love you for it. And this is why you may often find your dog lying on top of your pile of dirty clothes.
I've never found Lina lying on a pile of my clothes. Have you? Have you ever had your dog just lying on your laundry? Actually, we don't call it laundry. I don't know why I use the word laundry. It's probably because the American, American voice. Have you ever found your dog lying on your washing? That's what we call it.
Your clothing has your scent on it, and dogs always want to feel
best.
closer to you. Taking new routes. Dogs are curious and love nothing more than sniffing around and exploring. Your dog will be grateful if you stop taking them for the same walk every day. Mix up your route once in a while. You can do this by simply walking in a different direction every now and then. After all, who wants the same boring walking route every day?
I don't necessarily think this one's true. All the windows in the house are open, so if you hear ambulance noises, that's why. I don't necessarily think this one's true, actually, because actually, if you think, dogs like to mark their territory, same as a lot of other animals. So actually, they probably enjoy walking the same route because they've put their mark, they've put their scent down, and they will find it quite often. So not necessarily true. And actually, Lina, she don't care where she goes.
You can also go to new places. Try driving to a park or trail and starting your walk from there. Your pup will be exposed to new smells, sights, or experiences. And it's a great way to satiate their instincts to be active.
Satiate? What do you mean satiate? Bloody Americans. Associate?
Checking their P-mail and social media. If your canine frequently stops to urinate when you're walking them, it doesn't mean they're having bladder problems. They are just doing what dogs do, communicating with others of their kind by leaving urine marks. Believe it or not, dog urine marking is a serious business for canines. It's a protocol that predates electronic devices by thousands of years.
Now, this is one of the reasons why I wouldn't have a boy dog. I would never get a boy dog because they wee everywhere. And they always cock their legs most of the time. Some obviously squat, but they always scent up things, don't they? Lina, she will wee all the time when we're out. However, most of the time, nothing comes out because she thinks she's scenting and nothing comes out. But yes, she does it. But I think it's different because boy dogs more like to cover up the smells of other dogs, don't they? If you ever see a dog go for a wee and then a boy dog will come and wee over it to cover that mark up.
By urine marking, your dog is leaving messages, so to speak. Then other dogs come along and check the message and may leave a message of their own by urinating small amounts over or adjacent to the original spot. This is a unique form of communication where your dog will tell another dog if they sense danger, or even let them know about their sexual availability. This is how your dog sends other dogs a message about where they've been and what they've been doing. Unlike humans who have to use social media apps to catch up on all their friends' news, all a dog needs is a whiff of a very prominent vertical surface such as a fire hydrant, tree, or street sign. When you take your pup for a walk, Let them check their P-mail to catch up on all the changes in the neighborhood.
So there's a little thing. No, I'm no expert. I'm no dog trainer. I've learned from my own experiences. When you need to tire your dog out in two different ways. There's the physical way, which is basically let them off the lead, let them run around like a lunatic. But it's also important to tire them out mentally. Mentally tiring a dog out is probably more important than physical tiring. Let them, keep them on the lead sometimes. Let them walk and let them sniff. That will get their heads going. They'll get their heads down. They'll be sniffing. Let them do it. It's a real important thing that I think a lot of dog owners don't realise. Dog owners think it's okay just to let their dog off the lead in a park and go crazy and that's it. That's not necessarily the case. Keep them on the lead sometimes. Let them get their heads down and let them sniff.
For you to be happy. Believe it or not, your happiness is the most important thing for your dog. In fact, recent studies have shown that when we get stressed, our dogs get stressed too. Dogs can sense when we are happy or upset using their keen sense of smell and unique ability to read body language. So don't be surprised if your pup acts differently when you've had a bad day at work. When your dog notices that you are in distress, their attitude will adjust to your needs. Your dog will walk up to you gently with their tail lowered and show empathy to comfort you. And when you are happy, your dog's behavior reflects the environment. You'll notice your dog wagging their tail, jumping up or barking out of excitement, and mimicking your behavior.
Right, now possibly, and quite often, yes, if we relate it back to Lina, we obviously, if you don't already know, we had a really tough week the last week because we had to put our boy cat to sleep. It was devastating, and me and Charlie were in pieces, basically. Lina, on the other hand, didn't notice anything. She was her normal self, playing with balls and pestering us, trying to get us to throw the balls. She didn't notice any difference. So, on that side of things with Lina, I'm not sure. I think it's more about your tone of voice quite often. Yes and no, I would say, for this one.
Pet them where they enjoy it the most. How does your dog prefer being pet? It's a question that has stumped many dog owners for centuries, but science now has an answer. A study published in Journal of Veterinary Behavior found that dogs show more signs of stress like yawning, freezing, lip licking, or elevated heart rates when they are pet on the head, muzzle, shoulders, or paws. Petting on the chest, however, is associated with a decrease of heart rate and is more calming to a dog. Nevertheless, many dogs are comfortable with any types of interactions, even with strangers, because they're used to being around people. Nonetheless, it's best to stroke your dog where they enjoy it most, and remember not to confuse chest rubs with belly rubs. A dog who rolls over and shows you their underside is in a vulnerable position, and it's not a good time to rub their belly. Dogs prefer a good gentle chest rub to a belly rub any day.
Right, Lina's favorite scratches and rubs. She loves her neck being scratched. You'll see her mouth go really long. So she loves her neck. And her second favorite is her ribs. If you get her ribs in the right spot, she'll get her leg going as well. She absolutely loves it. Those are her two favorite. And I think that's probably the same for a lot of dogs. The neck and the ribs, I would say. Where's your dog's favorite position to be rubbed and scratched?
A loving glance. When it comes to attention, dogs can't seem to get enough of it. But there's one type they really enjoy. Dogs love a loving glance. Recent studies have shown that making eye contact while cuddling with your dog releases a love hormone in them known as oxytocin. Every time you gaze lovingly into your dog's eyes, their levels of oxytocin go up, and so do yours. In fact, studies have shown that this action produces the same biological response as a mother looking at her child. Take a moment, speak softly to your dog, pet them gently, and stare lovingly at them. But remember, you should only maintain direct eye contact with a dog who knows and trusts you. A dog who is not familiar with you is more likely to interpret this gesture as a threat or a challenge.
Sounds about right. This is probably the most accurate one. Yeah, you're quite often what you probably don't notice is dogs are looking at you so much throughout the day. If you've got a dog that's living with you, they will be looking at you. Even if they're just walking past you, they will be keeping an eye on you. Yeah, I think eye contact's a good one, but not with an aggressive dog.
Going for walks over food. A study conducted in the UK aimed to identify the words
Jack's the best.
and phrases that canines love to hear the most. The researchers monitored the dog's heart rate when their favorite phrases were mentioned. Believe it or not, walkies scooped the top spot, with a dog's heart rate increasing by a whopping 36% every time they hear the word. Other words that make our furry friends the happiest are treat, get it, and fetch. Being overjoyed about going for a walk is almost universal among the canines. If you lace up your shoes, reach for that leash, or do anything that signals even the possibility that you are going for a walk, your dog is probably thrilled. Dogs love walks because they fulfill that old, inbuilt survival instinct to go out and search for food. Dogs are pack animals, and while out walking, your canine is most likely going to meet other dogs. This is a great opportunity to help your pup to seek out company of their own kind, sniff around, explore, and enjoy the places where other dogs have been. And remember, our dogs depend on us not only for food and shelter, but for a relationship.
Should we test this one out? Walkies! Walkies! Nothing. Lina has no association with the word walkies. I could say it all day long. She will not be interested. If she's up in bed, if she's laying in the bed and I shout walkies, no interest at all. She likes going on walks and she will run around for ages, but she's not a fan of other dogs. So that sometimes puts her off, and she hates getting in my van as well. What does she? She always plays fetch. She's obsessed by balls. So the one word she associates with is get it, because she always puts it too far from my reach and you have to say get it. So she will bring it closer, or closer. Closer is the strongest word actually she likes. If you say closer, it means she hasn't put it close enough to you, so she has to nudge it forward.
Seeing the world through the windows. Although dogs do not depend on their sight as their primary sense, they can still see fairly clearly at distances of up to 20 feet. Open some of your shades and blinds so your dog can see what's going on outdoors.
Right. Little checkup on Lina. Yep. Just what I thought should be. Looking out the window. Her favourite spot in the whole house. It's like a TV for her. And back to the video.
Dogs can spend countless hours staring out a window and watching the world. Looking out the windows can be the best distraction and give your dog something to do. If a dog exhibits unwanted behavior like aggression or excessive barking, they probably need more stimulation and exercise.
Lina being a Jack Russell, or mostly a Jack Russell, she will bark out the window if she sees anyone. She is such a barker. She'll bark at the birds out in the back garden. However, it's interesting because unlike a lot of Jack Russells, she is a massive wimp. So if she's out in public, she'll be the wimpest. There'll be no barking from her. It's only when she's behind a fence or behind a window.
A challenging puzzle to solve. You've probably heard the saying, a tired dog is a happy dog, but that statement doesn't quite represent the full picture. In fact, a mentally stimulated dog is a happy dog.
What was I talking about? I predicted it, and I haven't seen this video. I predicted it. You've got to mentally tire your dog out.
When you're considering what toys to get your dog, include a puzzle toy that involves a challenge followed by a reward. Dogs are intelligent creatures that need mental exercise.
I question that sometimes. Dogs are intelligent creatures. I'm not sure all the times. Some dogs either are super intelligent or really stupid, and you can't work out which. They're either being really stubborn or just don't understand to come back.
And they'll act out if they are bored. How would you feel if you had to sit home all day with nothing to do? It might even drive you nuts enough to start tearing the couch. A favorite meal. Dogs don't like it when you eat the best food and all they get is dog food. Prepare a special meal for your furry friend every now and then, and let them enjoy their favorite dish. And this doesn't mean feeding them table scraps, which can eventually harm your dog's health, or feeding them too many treats, which can also make them overweight.
Right, Lina's favourite food that isn't her dry dog food. Cat food. She loves cat food. You have to be really careful. I say our cat now. We've got the microchip feeders that when they hover over it, the microchip activates and the lid lifts. But you got to be careful because if Lina notices, she'll get her head straight in. Loves cat food. And the two favourite human foods, she loves chicken and she loves chips. I know we shouldn't feed her. But those eyes looking at you.
Eating in private. When your dog is eating, respect their bliss and let them be. Dogs don't like eating in high traffic areas, and they need their privacy while eating. Minimize dish handling and let your pooch enjoy their meal.
Lina's weird. I don't know if any other dogs do this. They might do this. Lina's really weird. So we feed her dry food morning and evening. What she'll quite often do is she'll put some dry food in her mouth, wander either upstairs or in the living room, and then she'll eat it. She'll go back, get some more, put it in her mouth, wander off somewhere else, eat it. And she just goes back and forth. And I don't know why. I'm sure there's a reason. Someone might be able to tell me the reason for this. There's no reason for it in our household for sure.
Running errands with you. Anything's better than waiting for you at home, right? It's good to get out, and there are so many places you can take your dog. Just remember not to leave your pet unattended in a parked car for any period of time.
Lina hates being in the van or the car, so not always the best idea.
Being accepted for who they are. There's great happiness in being loved as you are, rather than being pressured to be what you're not. That's as true for dogs as it is for people. So if your dog sniffs urine or poop, let them, as preventing them from their own nature can cause anxiety and confusion. Dogs hate constant correction from you, and it is important that you love your dog just as he is.
Wow, that's ridiculous. Dogs hate constant correction. Well, you are meant to train them and make them a well-behaved dog. You have to correct them. It's like having a child. That's a stupid one.
Vacation. Instead of leaving your dog at a pet sitter's home, plan a dog-friendly vacation. After all, dogs are our family members, and they certainly deserve a trip to a new place. There are many hotels that are pet-friendly. If you have a small dog, air travel is easier. Now that you know...
We've thought about going somewhere in the UK and taking Lina with us. The problem is she hates travelling in the van or the car. She would do it though. But actually, she ends up going to my mum's house for the week, and that's a holiday for her. So it's a different location. So yeah. What ones of these do your dog do? What? That doesn't make sense. Which ones of these do your dogs do? Let me know in the comments. Hope you enjoyed the video and liked what I think of what Lina does and doesn't do. Yeah, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.